Hello there, fellow modern magi. Jesus once asked his disciples an age-old question: "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" They answered that some thought he was John the Baptist, Elijah, Jeremiah, or another prophet reincarnated. Then Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" Peter burst out, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Even today, people have many different ideas about who Jesus really is. Many form distinct thought forms, or perhaps we should say there are many collective minds, or hive minds, that differ on who he is and what role he plays in this world. Here we aim to explore those ideas and find and identify the true Jesus Christ. For, as they say, knowledge is power. The first collective mind to examine is the authoritative Jesus. This mind centers on the belief that a church can claim to hold the keys to God's kingdom, making it the only true, authorized representative of Jesus Christ on the earth, rendering all other churches null and void and of no value in comparison. This belief takes many forms, such as the claim that Peter passed his authority down through the popes, or claims from other religions that the Catholic Church fell into a state of apostasy, with those churches then asserting that the keys were passed to them. There is certainly precedent for Jesus commissioning his disciples with tasks and empowering them to complete them. But this collective mind has strongly clashed with other collectives. Some who adopt these thought forms often think more like cult members who lack boundaries, feeling they have authority over others' lives. This could stem from a sense of elitism. So even if Jesus gave his authority to mankind, this lack of boundaries has likely caused many from other collectives to loathe the idea of Jesus. The Nerfed Jesus is a depiction of Jesus not as the all-powerful God incarnate, but as a great teacher, prophet, or ascended master. This portrayal might stem from a desire to make room for other spiritual figures, reduce the authoritative Jesus to curb misuse of power, or simply tell a more compelling story, much like some who prefer a less invincible Superman for the sake of struggle and relatability. Even among skeptics, most scholars acknowledge a historical Yeshua, suggesting a Jesus who may not be as divine as mainstream Christians believe. Yet, like other interpretations of Jesus, this view likely holds some truth. According to the New Testament, some followed Jesus for his intuitive abilities. However, there's a moment in the New Testament where Jesus eagerly approached a fig tree that appeared fruitful from afar, only to find it barren upon closer inspection. This suggests that despite how many Christians view him, Jesus' earthly experience included some human limitations. Let's now discuss the collective of the permissive Jesus, rooted in grace, emphasizing mercy over works or deeds. The release from sins through transformation and a change of heart is undoubtedly one of the most powerful principles to understand and apply. However, taking this to an extreme can be harmful if people see Jesus' permissiveness as a license to harm others. This concept ties to Jesus promising the thief on the cross he'd join him in paradise, with some assuming paradise equals heaven. Both sound promising, though. Earlier traditions suggest the two thieves symbolize Solomon's temple pillars, Joachim and Boaz, also known as the pillars of severity and mercy. Jesus, as the middle pillar on the cross, embodied balance, not extremes. Perhaps we should avoid extremes and seek balance within ourselves. Let's now dive into Doomsday Jesus. While permissive Jesus reflects the extreme of the pillar of mercy, Doomsday Jesus embodies the pillar of severity. This collective mind focuses on punishing the wicked, often drawn to apocalyptic texts like Revelation and Daniel. People are drawn to this idea because the world feels unjust, longing for evildoers to face judgment. Noah's story, where a flood destroyed the world and only 8 survived, aligns with this view if taken literally. Prophecy connects the end times to Noah's days. As Jesus said, "As it was in the days of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man." Matthew 24:37. So with judgment soon approaching, is Doomsday Jesus the true Jesus? Let's explore the mythological Jesus. This thought form views Jesus as pure symbolism, with little to no existence in this realm. He's a story figure like Zeus, Poseidon, Little Red Riding Hood, or Humpty Dumpty. The collective mind sees him representing concepts like the sun rising and falling in a journey that mirrors the zodiac's constellations, a metaphor for true science. Like other thought forms, this perspective holds profound truths, but it seems to confine Jesus to a narrow box. Many in this mindset think linearly, embracing only one truth at a time, unable to make room for two parallel truths. Now let's address a sensitive topic: the neurodivergent Jesus. In today's discussions, neurodivergent individuals are often recognized for hyperfixation, where one topic becomes an all-consuming passion, almost an identity. This collective mind manifests as the neurodivergent Jesus, appearing globally in varied forms but sharing a common theme. For instance, some hyperfixate on the Sabbath, insisting that Saturday is the true day of worship and not Sunday. And this hyperfixation drives a wedge between them and other Christians, as they're convinced they're right and others need correction. But it's not limited to the Sabbath. It could be fixating on God's true name, Jehovah or the Tetragrammaton, its pronunciation or acknowledgement, or a fixation on the Virgin Mary, the Torah, or an extremely literal view of the infallible, inerrant Bible. Does the true Jesus demand that we hyperfixate on specific topics to the exclusion of all others? The prophecy of many false Christs in the end times may not only refer to a wild lunatic claiming to be Emmanuel, whom few believe. It could point to false collectives of Christ. This might seem harsh, perhaps a glass half-empty view, as most paradigms mix truths and falsehoods. The main point is, what if Jesus cannot be put into a box? What if he is even bigger and more nuanced than most can describe or fathom? Let's view Jesus Christ as unboxed, unlimited, and unveiled. Consider the wise men who recognized Jesus as the Messiah early on. They likely understood the stars' meanings. Today, modern science lets us calculate the stars' positions and see the heavenly alignments they observe. In the fall of 2 BC, a rare celestial sign appeared. The sun, symbolizing God, overshadowed Virgo, the Virgin in the sky, mirroring Mary, the Virgin, giving birth to God's Son. This happens yearly, but something rarer occurred. The moon aligned under Virgo's feet, while 3 moving planets joined the 9 fixed stars of Leo's constellation, forming a crown of 12 stars above Virgo's head. This alignment, rare for hundreds or even 1,000 years, reflected the Christian narrative of Jesus' birth, etched eternally in the unalterable stars. Dismissing this sign would be the ultimate gaslighting. In 1 BC, months after the celestial sign in the fall of 2 BC, as if marking a pregnancy's duration, an intriguing star configuration appeared, signaling the birth of a powerful being. This occurred around early April, depending on the calendar. Other videos explore this further, but the stars clearly depict a special person with these attributes: a powerful man, strong in body and spirit, a gifted healer, born without his father fully present, born with little material wealth, possessing both masculine strength and a gentle, loving nature, destined to endure great suffering and hardship, fated to clash with worldly rulers, destined for fame. The list could continue. One thing is certain: Jesus is more than meets the eye. Many hold unbalanced views, projecting their biases onto him. Yet the real Jesus is whole, not broken, complete in a way only the whole can grasp. As John says in his first epistle, "Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is."